There we go. Okay, what is rockin'? What is poppin', leaders? Today is November 6th, and this is the call of the greats. Okay, this is the call of the people who are serious about transforming lives. Not just changing the lives of others, but we're passionate about changing our own lives and becoming better leaders, better communicators, better mentors and motivators and multipliers, not sexually. That's not what this call is for. That's a different call, a different time. Message in the comments if that is a call you're interested in, and I'd be happy to put on a little tutorial for that as well. So this is our first official week of tracking. So we are tracking in our little Excel spreadsheet everything that is happening, everything that we should be doing on a daily basis to get our business to thrive. For some of us, this tracker makes us want to poop our leggings. This is like so out of our comfort zone, so new, so overwhelming, and trust and believe, when I started, I felt exactly the same way. I had been doing kind of like random power hour type of things, and I felt like I was doing a lot. But then when I had to show up and do this tracker, I realized how much I was not doing, how many times I was putting off my invites, or how many times I was putting off my convos. And I really, it's like I was giving myself the benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, I definitely worked on my business this week, for sure. Definitely did. But like, because I wasn't tracking it, and because I didn't have a way to hold myself accountable, I didn't even notice how much I was slacking. So if you are in that position, know that for me, it took a couple weeks to feel like I even had control of it. And really it came down to a point of like, I kind of memorized the tracker after a couple weeks. I knew what was happening. So that allowed me to kind of look ahead and be like, okay, I know what's coming. When I get to it, I'm going to rock it out. But honestly, isn't that the same as like anything, any workout program even, right? Like when we do a workout program, raise your hand if you did an 80-day obsession, or if you've done an 80-day obsession workout before. Okay. What about size, the dance one? If you've tried size before. Okay. So pretty much with those two workouts, especially when I think of cardio flow, that particular workout, it sucked. Like that was a sucky workout. But the more I felt like I knew what the heck was coming next and what was about to happen to me and happen to my body and happen to my brain through this process, I was like, okay, no, like I can handle this. And then you start thinking ahead, like, this workout is coming, you can do it without equipment, how to prepare and plan for it. I think with the tracker that we have for coaching, expect that it will get easier for you to get these tasks done. You will get them done more quickly. Now, if you're a full-time coach, know that I'm setting this up for you, hoping that you duplicate this for your downline. Maybe not now, but at some point. That is the purpose, because we don't want to be full-time business owners that work 15 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day would be good, but you're not going to be able to work 4 to 6 hours a day if you are checking in with every single human that you're trying to mentor one-on-one. So that's how this tracker is an appealing thing. Maybe you could come up with something similar for challengers, right? Like a weekly call for challengers where they all get on with you. So get creative and know that the reason that we're doing this is because it is an efficient, effective way for me to be able to see you, for you to see your own progress, for me to notice what you're struggling with. And I'm really glad that you have all joined in. So after I get through with the next like 10, 15 minute little chit chat with you guys, you are going to have the chance to ask me questions. So be thinking about what questions you have or parts of the tracker that maybe you're not as confident with right now, and we can address those as a crew. So I am in Colorado. Guys, I got this rad hair. Didn't they do a good job? I thought they did such a good job. 1 hour and done. Record time with the hair. You guys, I'm here in Colorado. Craig is still in Garden City, Kansas. He's coming up to meet me tomorrow. We're flying to Vegas because John Houston and I are going to be rocking out in Vegas, and I'm going to New York to visit my sister. Lots of traveling, lots of fun things. And I have to tell you, like, adjusting to camper life has been different. it's been interesting. It's been a process, you know, like in some ways, it's really nice because I feel like I'm going to have my home with me in more places. Whereas before when I traveled, I just had my backpack and like, it's going to make traveling so much more comfortable, but then there's some downsides to it, right? Like we don't have all of the things set up yet. We don't have a couch in there yet. So like if we want to watch TV, we just lay on the floor and watch TV there, which is totally fine. So another downside would be like, you know, super small space with your partner, super, super small space, like this big of space. Now it hasn't been too much of an issue because, you know, I'm gone a lot. And he was working during the day, but I know coming up that there's going to be some changes for us. And that joy became really abundantly clear last weekend. There was a party that was hosted for Gregory Schmidt. Because it was his last day of work, there was a party hosted. And no, I'm not talking about the pot party that we planned. Not that party. This was like the work party where they brought all of the alcohol and Craig was there. And I told his colleagues, I probably shouldn't have told him this. I'm like, if you ask Craig Schmidt to take a shot, he'll say no, but you just got to ask again. If you ask twice, he'll totally do it. And so they're all like, Craig, come over. He's like, no, I can't. And they're like, Craig, come on, man. It's your last night. And he's like, okay. So Craig goes over and he's throwing back shots and having a good time. And I'm totally egging him on, right? Because it's his last party with his friends there at work. Well, then I get a phone call. You guys, I get a phone call little after midnight. I'm already asleep to come pick him up. I bring him home to the camper. He goes to bed, and about an hour later, you guys know how this goes. Sometimes you pass out and all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, I'm going to puke my guts out. So Craig Schmidt christened our new camper and the very teeny tiny toilet with all of the vomit in all of the world. Okay, so that was fun. That was really great. Super, super small space. Super small space. So I wake up the next morning and I'm like, okay, let's go. About to be super wife up in here. So I'm like, got the things and I've got the like cleaning supplies and I'm like cleaning and it's a small space, but I'm like, okay. And I have to tell you that in this moment, the only thing I could think about was, this smell is never going to go away. It is never going to leave my nostrils. It is never going to leave this small space. It is never going to leave. And I am going to be smelling puke for the rest of my life. And I just can't. And guys, all I wanted was like some of those Scentsy little like air plug-in things to like put everywhere in the entire, like in every single outlet of the camper. I needed Scentsy plug-ins and like those little like keychain Scentsy things with the beads and like, I don't even care, candles, whatever. Like I will put all the Scentsy things in all the places, but that's all I need right now. And I would pay $1 million. And you know what I thought? I was like, here I am. I would literally like, I would do naughty things right now. I would do inappropriate things for a Scentsy plug-in. And I know that 20 people in the past 3 years have reached out to me and said, hey, like I'm selling like Scentsy things. Would you like to get in on this latest deal? We have like 20% off candles. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. Like I ignored all of them. Not one person reached back out to me. Here I am sitting in a pukey, smelly camper, willing to pay $1 million for a candle. And I could not think of a single Scentsy representative's name. Like I couldn't even think of their names. I know 20 of them have reached out to me, but it was a one-time reach out. It was a time that I didn't freaking need a candle. I didn't even like, what even is that? Like I knew what they were, but like, I didn't need one. I hadn't really thought about it. If just one of them, you guys, if just one of them had reached out again, one time, 2 times to check in on me. How are you doing? By the way, I'm still doing the Scentsy candle thing. Like if you ever have any smell needs, I'm here for you. You guys, I would have blown up their freaking phone with my credit card number. I went from having zero need for what these people had to offer to being like, there is nothing that they could say that would be a wrong pitch. Just give me the website and I will order all of the things. But instead, because I couldn't think of any of their names Instead, I got on Amazon and I started looking at different smell options. I was like, I can't even wait for the two days for this to get in. So like I ordered something there. Then I went to Walmart, spent money there to get what I needed. And I wonder how many times we do that. How many times we do that with Beachbody, with workouts, with the coaching opportunity. I wonder how many people we reach out to and they say, we think that they're awesome. You know, we would love to work with them. We'd love to have them in a challenge group. We'd love to have them as a coach. Maybe they're already one of your challengers. And when you hit them up, they have no freaking need for coaching. They have no need to be a part of a team. Maybe everything is going great in their life and they're feeling fit, they're feeling good, or maybe they're just super busy and didn't even think to respond. And we take that as a no. We take that as a never. So when that day comes, and we know that for a lot of people, that day is coming January 1st. When that day comes, are the people that you reached out to, the people that you took all the time to reach out to them and invite them, are they going to go to their local YMCA and sign up for a program? Are they going to get on Amazon and order a weight loss supplement that may or may not even work? Are they going to hire a personal trainer for hundreds and hundreds of dollars to work with them and get them back on track? Or are they going to remember your name? Are they going to fully understand the value of what you offered? Now, I distinctly remember that some of the women reaching out to me had this like little unicorn backpack, keychain, scentsy, smelly thing. And I was like, yes, I do like backpacks and I do like unicorns, but like, why? Like, I don't just know. Like, that's just not something that I'm super interested in. But I think that even if that were not really what I needed, if that person would have given me a little bit more information, contact information, other options of what they had to offer, instead of just saying, hey, I think this is what you need. Is this what you want? And they didn't provide any other options for me. I don't know. I think that would have meant something. Like I didn't want that unicorn thing, but something else maybe I would have been down for. So I think it's so important knowing that statistically, like 1% of people will say yes. 1 to 2% of people will say yes the first time you ask them. 1 to 2%, you guys. How sucky is coaching going to feel if you stay in that one ask zone? Like if you're only asking people one time, that means that statistically speaking, your conversion rate is going to be like 1%. That sucks. Like that's not fun. That's not fun. That's not enjoyable. That doesn't build up your self-worth or make you feel like you know what you're doing. So if you keep spreading those seeds out, you're just like putting seeds out, like everybody gets seed. But you're not taking time to water them, and you're not taking time to make sure they're getting their sunlight, or they're getting the right fertilizer or whatever it takes to grow plants. Because you guys know I'm not a gardener. I don't fucking know. But you get the point, right? Like these initial reach outs to people, they're good and they're important, but there is a freaking reason that this tracker has initial convo, invite, follow-up, tracker system, and personal development so that you can deal with the incorrect thought that them not responding to you is rejection. Or them not signing up. Maybe they respond and they say no. Is that rejection? No, they just don't have that need right now. But when they do, will they know that you're still there? Will they remember your name? Will they feel comfortable reaching out to you? Will they feel embarrassed because maybe they said they were going to do it and then they didn't end up doing it? And so then like, should they still reach out? Like, have you broken the ice with those people who have said no and let them know that like, it's okay that they weren't ready then? And how are they? So I think that the number one fear that I hear from coaches as I'm signing them up is like, I don't want to be salesy. You guys hear that? You felt that? I don't want to be salesy. The number one thing you can do to be salesy is plant a seed and never follow up. Like, what does that look like? If that's your number one fear, and you only do the initial reach out and you never do the invite, the follow up, put them in your tracker system to like then follow up again and follow up again. And that over time, you're building that relationship and your number of exposures are going up to now it's like 20% conversion rate, 30%, 40%, 50%. I mean, by the time you get up to following up with people like 8 times, it's a super high conversion rate. Have you put in the number of follow-ups with people to really build that kind of trust? Because if not, if you got some fear of follow-up situation going on, you're screwing yourself over and you're making yourself look salesy. That's like the number one thing that you didn't want to do. And that's what you're creating. So know that on Fridays, it's like a follow-up fiesta, man. Like Fridays, I do more. My tracker is different. My tracker's double than what you guys have. So I'm doing 40 follow-ups on Fridays. Feel free to 2x all the numbers on there and you'll be doing a very similar tracker to me. Very similar work ethic. I don't stop at 40. I'm going through and I am like following up with every single person. I'm trying to do it in the morning while people are still at work and still have that structure. Because the last thing somebody wants to do is like Friday night, they're finally free from work and they get out of their job and they've got a drink with their friends. And you're like, so by the way, did you want to talk more about that health and fitness challenge? You're like, hey girl, have you thought any more about coaching? They're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I just want to have a drink and like not have conversations right now. Right. So I try to make sure that my follow-ups on Fridays are earlier in the day so that they still have that work structure time to secretly be on their phone against store policy or whatever and like respond to me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope that helps some of you. I hope you guys remember puke because I like to really bring it back to the toilet every time with the life lessons. I have seen some of you are remembering log your shit when you shit. And now we've got this puke analogy also dealing with a toilet, to help you remember that follow-ups are like vomit toilets in a very small space or something. Is that gross? Jamie's like, that's disgusting. Like, why are you? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So we're about, a little more than 15 minutes in. So my spiel is through. It is time for me to check in with each one of you. There's 3 questions that I'm going to be asking you every single time. Those 3 questions are not on this page, not on that page. Those 3 questions are, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance on an action level? What numbers have you produced this month as far as sales and recruits? When I say sales, I mean like Success Club. But if you want to share any Beachbody On Demand clients or anything else that is applicable to your goals, rock on. And when I say recruits, I mean coach recruits. And it's always good to differentiate between working coaches and discount coaches. And then number 3, is there anything that I can help you with? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with Miss Allie Smith. We're going to start with some of the OGs in here who have done this before.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
So performance-wise, yesterday I'd give myself a 0, but today I double timed everything, so like a 10. But I've been real hit or miss this week with, I don't know, my productivity and like figuring out when in the day to do my stuff. So
Allie,
I've been like,
it has to be before 1, dude. We've had this talk. We know.
I know. It's gotten worse though. Now, if it's not done before like 10 o'clock in the morning, I like struggle the rest of the day. But I'm going to actually do what Kay Bella was saying and like mix up like where I'm working, because I'm working on the couch in my pajamas every day. And I do the same thing every day on the couch in my pajamas. So hopefully that will work. Thanks for that suggestion.
Good idea.
And then my numbers, I'm at Success Club 0, but I have 12 people I'm talking to right now that are like so close from like back in May when I first started inviting them. They're like finally coming back around, and they keep asking for pricing like every week over and over again. So I feel like they're about to sign up, but just waiting. And then I'm still trying to convert my sisters over to be coaches. I think I need a little more pressure on them.
Yeah, definitely. Have you tried bribery? That works sometimes.
Well, I'm going to trade my sister probably some essential oils for her switching over to a new membership. And then I'm going to try to talk her into actually working it because she'd be amazing at it. So.
Oh, cool. Yes.
And then question-wise, you said something last week about like Instagram not being able to handle 2 posts a day. What do you mean by that? I just like didn't understand what you meant by that, and I was curious.
Okay, so not so much that like Instagram can handle it, but it is not the algorithm. So the algorithms between Instagram and Facebook, they're constantly changing. It's kind of tough to keep up with, but it does make a difference. And there's certain things that you learn along the way, especially if you are watching like the latest videos as they're coming out, as they're changing the algorithm. There's certain things that you can do that will get your post to go out further to more people, to reach more people. And there's certain things you can do that will make your post be seen by fewer people. So for example, some of the more commonly known ones on Facebook are if you post a link, especially a link to a YouTube video in your Facebook post, Facebook is going to pull it back. Not as many people are going to see it because YouTube is Facebook's rival. So if there's a YouTube link in the actual post, they're not going to let as many people see it. So you want to always put YouTube links in the comment section. Or someone commenting on your post within 2 minutes with 4 words or more is what Facebook and Instagram consider to be an interaction. So they look at how many interactions you're having on your post within those first couple minutes that are 4 words or more. And they say, okay, this many people commented and saw this. This is a really good post. We're going to push this out to more people. Okay. So things like that. So based on the algorithms, Instagram seems to be favoring 1 post a day. So basically that means that if you're doing 2 posts a day, they are going to not push out your material as far. Okay, Facebook, at least my understanding, and guys, please correct me if you've learned that these have changed within the past couple months when I learned them. But my understanding is that Facebook seems to, the algorithm is totally cool with 2 posts a day. Things like a live video, whether it's on Instagram or on Facebook, a live video is going to reach way more viewers than an uploaded video, which is still going to reach more viewers than a like shared video or a YouTube video. So little things like that. If you're at all wanting to see any of those other ones, just type in like 2018 November Instagram algorithm. And people will come up with like, hey, these are the changes that have been made. This is how to get your stuff seen most. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, cool.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Hi. Nice job. Remember, if you guys, if you have a bad day, you just make up the stuff that you missed the next day. If you know that you're going to have a rough period coming up because maybe, like, for example, Sierra in our other group, she's getting married and she's like, I know that there's no way in heck that I'm going to be doing invites on my honeymoon. Like, that's just not happening. But instead of saying, hey, you know what, I'm just not going to be in the group, she decided she wanted to do her invites and convos ahead of time. So she's doing like double. So she's going through the days, she's working ahead and saying yes, yes, yes on the days that she has done her stuff. That is totally fine for you guys to do as well. If you know you've got a really rough Thursday or Friday, or maybe you're just on a freaking roll and you want to work ahead and 2x it and then 2x it again, it's fine. Work ahead. Put yes in future days boxes. I don't care. It's still adds up to the same thing as long as you're doing it consistently. All righty. So who's going to be next? Let's go with Lisbeth. Your hand is up. Lisbeth, hand up.
Hear me? Am
Yep.
I muted?
Yep. Good.
Okay. I definitely took the opportunity to relish in the fact that last week did not count. And I let myself off the hook for quite a few things. I mean, I probably got about half the new combos and invites for the week. I did everything else. So this week, I would say I'm doing pretty good. So I don't know. I would say the number's probably 8 or 9 and projected to be a 10.
Yes.
Because I do that where like I have certain days where I have more time than others. So work ahead or work behind. I am so excited because you remember that one person, Janelle, that I told you was like, you were like, who's on your dream team?
Yeah.
So like I had a conversation with her a couple nights ago where she was like thinking about like getting the shakes again, trying them again, and like joining. And then I was like, so I'm like, I feel like it's getting a little bit closer because she's like wanted to join the next challenge just so that she could talk to me more. I was like, yes. I was like, that's why I want you to join too. So I'm hoping. I still have my hopes on that one. But still we're trying to work the ones that didn't come through last month. Keeping hopes high. And then my question is about the masterminding. I have no idea what to do for that.
Okay, so good question. So mastermind with new coaches on your team, right?
And mastermind with leaders. Isn't that what this is?
Yes. So if you're on here, check.
Okay.
If you are not on here, or if it's on a day that isn't like you want to do it again, reach out to each other and ask questions or collaborate or brainstorm. Like I really, really would love to encourage you guys to reach out to one another, someone you don't know. Because there's people in this call that you don't know very well. If you know everybody who's in here, pick someone who you'd like to get to know better and set up a Zoom with them. Be like, hey, can we just talk like leader stuff? Can we talk like business goal stuff and set up a 10, 15-minute call and get to know someone else on this team, because that way you'll have someone else holding you accountable and cheering you on. And yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. As far as the new members of your team, what I would recommend doing for that is checking into your, when you check into your online office and you look at, or your graphical genealogy, and you look at the people who have been added to your team, maybe by other teammates, or if you have new coaches yourself. So if you've signed up some new coaches, that day is the day that you want to check in with those new coaches and be like, all right, like, let's get this popping. Let's, I really think that it's great to keep your new coaches, like keeping it just super, super duper simple, not adding, I don't add them all into the new groups and everything. If anybody wants to know coach onboarding system, feel free to ask that. But Lisbeth, to answer your question specifically, look at the new coaches who have been added to your team and who has added them, and maybe reach out to that person and say, hey, is this person a business builder? Like, you just added so-and-so. Is this a business builder, or is this just like a discount coach? And if they're a business builder, reach out and introduce yourself. Ask them how they're feeling about it. See if there's anything you can do to help. Or maybe there are people that you see in our coach groups that are business builders and they are in your downline. Reach out to them, cheer them on, do something to like pump them up, because those people affect your business financially as much as anyone you sign up yourself. Just as much. You might as well sign that person up. So you want to give them just as much love, attention, mentorship. If you want to do the dang thing right, you want to really cheer those people on, help them to be successful.
Okay.
I
think that was all.
Rock on. Great job. Okay, let's go with K Bella. Unmute.
So I guess I'm not quite sure how to answer this, and I'll tell you why. So I would say on an effort for what I need to do, I would definitely say I'm a 10. I restarted Morning Motivation, which I was leading on my own page on Facebook Live, and now I've moved it to YouTube, and that way people can subscribe to it. I've been looking for supervision, completed my application. We're working on selling the restaurant. And I've been on top of my posting. I'm trying to get more back into my story because I actually started to find I kind of missed it. I don't know. I wanted people, I want to share this experience with people, like this kind of transition time into like, it's kind of like my my brainchild and my creativity is starting to develop into something. And so being able to like breadcrumb that for people in a very natural, just like, okay, so this is what I figured out today. And, just being able to share that with people has been pretty cool. I think I'm still trying to figure out what certain things in the tracker look like for my situation, and how involved to be. And I think I really enjoyed last week kind of just taking a break from most of it. And it's not because it was bad. I think it's just because I get so involved in things sometimes that that sometimes it's just I just need a break, and I just need a breath for a time. So now coming into this week, it's coming in with a much like fresher perspective, eager to encourage others and stuff. And so yeah, I definitely say a 10. I'm figuring out a lot as far as like actual interactions and conversations. I really haven't been doing as much of that on Instagram, but it's a lot of phone calls and stuff. So
Right.
a lot of emails and phone calls, that kind of thing.
I would 100% count those, Kay. Like a lot of times you guys know that most of the business that I've built has been in person. I count those interactions with new people. If I'm talking to a person at the restaurant and I get their contact information, I get their Instagram to hit them up later, talk to them about whatever. Maybe we had no discussion about health and fitness at all, but I've added to my network. You send an email to somebody regarding the program that you're so to give you guys a little bit of background, Kay Bella is like a bomb ass therapizer. She's a therapist, and she's using Beachbody as kind of like another tool in her toolkit. So like her main thing is counseling. She is creating this like incredible program that's going to change so many lives, that's helping people to overcome their addictions. And I have a feeling that that's going to be the first of many courses that she creates. And I have a feeling there's a lot of Beachbody coaches that are going to be participating in her programs because they help people to, obviously, if you have an addiction, just saying, okay, stop doing that isn't really going to work, right? You transfer that addiction to something else. And so she uses health and fitness as a means to get people through whatever it is. Like, and everybody's coming in at different stages. So she's not necessarily like building a coaching team right now. She is using the tool set to be able to serve the people in the way that she wants to. And so that's why some of the things on the tracker, if you're in that position too, I don't know every single one of you exactly what your vision is, because some of you are on Team Boom, but not in my actual downline. If you have a vision that's using this slightly differently, you may have to like align what each thing on the tracker means to you. So if it's expanding your network, and to you that means going to your local YMCA and talking to all the fitness people who are working there, then that's what it means. If expanding your network means going to a mom's group because that's your target market, then that works for that. It doesn't have to necessarily be online.
Yeah, and I definitely still really like Instagram, and I still like the platform that I'm able to build there. I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit. I really like my Instagram. I really like the way that it looks, and I spent so much time like making it the way that I look and the way that I am. So it's like when I can now kind of, I still get to keep those same followers and I'm still interacting with those same people. And it's been really cool for them to be part of the journey as well. So now I have like over 800 people and they're like able to see me go through and make this transition. And it's just like, I don't feel alone in it. So like as I update my story and I'm excited about sharing things, it's like I know they care and I know some of them have even been like, look, I don't think what you're doing right now with health and fitness is what I need at this time. They need therapy and they need like the individual conversations and whatnot. And so to now be kind of in this transition stage, it's been so cool to have that kind of platform already started and already established. So it has helped in so many ways with that. So today I spent a lot of time looking for a supervisor that I really want one that has the same kind of style as me when it comes to like, I'm a huge fan of videos and I've started to really notice that a lot. That's why I really got into doing the lives and the morning motivation and now starting that on YouTube, I think helps to build a lot of credibility when people can see how we are as people and they get to see our body language and the way that we communicate and what we're passionate about. They get to read that passion on you. And that's when it definitely becomes not about the sale as well, because I heard you talking about that at the beginning. So because when people see that expression, they see that passion, they see why you're doing what you're doing, you don't have to sell anything because you're selling it through your own passion.
Sure. Yeah.
And you're getting them involved in something. So yeah, it's been really good to have that kind of basis already established. And I'm still working on the whole, like, the nice thing with Beachbody was they already kind of had some of the business stuff set up for me. And it was like, oh, they already do the payments and they already do the, the logistics and business stuff. So, trying to find a few of those things within the counseling field has been different, but it is nice to already be involved in something that has that kind of online framework. So I can just kind of, oh, I like that. And I'll do that on my thing. And so yeah, it's funny. It's still duplicatable or whatever.
Is there anything that you need help with this week?
Help with, I thought of something, but then I think it disappeared. I think one thing I'm still working through, just personally, but I don't know if you can give much guidance to this or anything, but it's trying to decide what exactly I want in a supervisor, or I want myself to look like when it comes to my online presence. Because I see a lot of either they're entirely in person and they're counseling related, or they're more online and they're more like life coaching related. So like the online courses, things like, I love the overcoming addictions model, but I'm seeing that, if it's drug and alcohol related, it'd be best to do it in person. But if it's like support group, health and fitness, or minimalism related, those kind of things can be, or transition to vegan, those can be online sorts of groups. So I think I'm still trying to figure myself out as far as like, what do I want this to be and how do I want it to go? But like I said, I mean, that's kind of been my mental question and my big thing for today as far as what I've been trying to do. But yeah.
I guess the only advice I can give on that is sometimes we don't know how it's going to feel for us to be in those positions until we actually do it. So sometimes
Right.
Instead of deciding ahead of time and, having everything figured out and feeling like, exactly like your target market, your place of business, like all of those things, it's like cool to know them ahead of time, but sometimes you just got to get in there and try it one way to figure out that that's not going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Or try to, bring up somebody that you've got as a supervisor and do it their way for a while to decide that isn't the way you want to rock. Because it's hard to know until you do it. Okay. Rock on, dude. Moving on. This did not charge, so I'm gonna have to move over there. We're having some charging issues. Can I go to Jen?
Hi.
Shakira. Tell me
Hola.
what scale from 1 to 10.
I would probably give myself an 8 this week so far. And if we count last week as a practice round, I'm really good at like checking things off that are easy for me to do. But I've noticed that I save my invites and my connecting until like it feels like it's the very last thing I have to do. And I want to get better at just getting that done and not thinking about it so much and just like doing it. Like once I start doing it, it's fine. Like I'm not scared to talk to people and to make connections. It's just literally, it's like the last thing I want to do.
Jen, you need to know that we all of us, so like it's still not charging. I don't know. Hold on, I got to figure this out so I don't lose you all in a hot second. Timeout. Why do you hate me? Nobody move. Yes, we're not even you. There's a dog next to me. I'm like, don't touch it. Okay, so Jen, we all went through this when we started too. Like I did the exact same thing and I still do. Like inviting, even though I love the results of inviting, it is kind of one of the necessary evils, for lack of a better phrase, of this business. It is the unsexiest part of coaching because it takes mental energy. A bunch of us in this group, like Allie, I was mentioning, girl, you got to do it before 1 o'clock because we joke that like after that 1 o'clock time, if you put it off, it's the same as workouts. Like I just kind of torture myself about it. I'm like, I know I got to do them. I know I got to do them. I know I got to do them. I know. And it's just in my brain. But once I sit down and just freaking do them, it's good. So one thing that has helped me a lot with this, well, a couple things. One of them is, are you working during the day or are you able to do them in the morning?
I'm working during the day, but I've been able to like, again, when I take my bathroom breaks, like strategically bang out the 5 invites or on my train ride in, like do 5 new connections then. So usually in the morning, I use that time to focus on like me. So my workout, like my dance party before my workout, pumping myself up, my personal development. And then later on in the days when I try to squeeze in everything else. Just because I feel like if I try to get invites out in the morning while I'm like getting ready for work, it's just too much for me to focus on. And I don't want to get up at like 4:30. Like I get up at 5:20 and I'm like, okay, that's good. That's early enough. But
yeah, that's
I don't think I
too
can
much
do any earlier than that.
So, but is it in, you're avoiding it, but you're doing them?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know, some things that I try is, once again, bribery. Like I'll bribe myself with snacks that like when I love my Shakeology. It's like one of my favorite meals in the day, for real, especially when I make it fancy. So if I make myself like a super fancy ass pumpkin spice shake, I'm like, I make that kind of, so I work out and then I'm like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to drink this gorgeous shake and I'm going to knock out my invites because I really want to shower, but I'm not allowed to get in the shower until I'm done with that. So like create some sort of a ritual around it where like, you know, like the invites get faster and they get easier, but I feel like no matter how good you get at them and how much fun they are at certain points, we all fall back into the putting them off until last minute and then we haven't done them. Kay Bella has had to experience me being like, I didn't do the invites of the tracker for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I have double. So I'm like, I have to do like 70 reach outs and I have to like start conversations with 60 people and invite 30 and then
Yeah, that's helpful.
Do that a
I
couple
think
times and you'll stop.
might help.
Sucks.
Yeah. But then in terms of sales, like I've had some people that I was talking to very late in October convert over. So I'm at SC4 and I
Woo!
challenge pack last night. So I'm at SC6, but my point 7 updated yet. So it's like taking longer. So I feel good about like the sales and like I'm motivated. It's just a matter of like getting it done and not being like, why am I always saving this to be the last thing? Like I should get up and I should be excited that I get to talk to new people every single day. You know, I don't just like live in my own bubble. I get to like meet all these people out on the internet or wherever. So I think I just need to like stop thinking about it negatively and like subconsciously and just to do it.
What's your PD?
So I am dabbling in a couple of different things. At night, I like to kind of read on my Kindle before I go to bed. So right now I'm reading Get Over Your Damn Self. Just started it. And then in the morning, I listen to a variety of different podcasts that are kind of like motivational. So I listen to Rachel Hollis. I listen to Tony Robbins. I've listened to Sean T. I know his isn't up to date, but it's really anybody who kind of like pumps me up and gets me in a good headspace. But before, I mean, that's a big win for me. Before I used to just get ready and listen to music, and now I actually listen to something that's helping me feel good about myself and helping me be the best possible version of myself. So it's like I have to listen to it in the morning. And if I don't, like I'm just not in a good headspace for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I won't send any invites if I don't listen to it. So yeah, it's huge.
Great. That's a great thing for self-awareness though. Like that you're recognizing that those things about yourself and that you're avoiding it. Like, I mean, to me, I'm like, well, rock on, you still got it done, but I can totally see why, you know, when you do see it as such a positive thing, like allowing it to become a negative is a choice. So that reframing, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Anything I can help with other than that?
Yeah, just two quick questions for you. I still haven't like mastered a good tracking system for all my people because I'm kind of like all over the place. Like I'm at my apartment and then I'm at my job and I'm like tracking people in a notebook, like at my desk, and then I have a Google sheet. Like do you have like a tried and true system that really works for you? Like are you Google Sheet? Are you Streak? Like I'm still fine tuning my system and I haven't been able to like get it.
So I use Teamsy. That is the one that I'm going to, but that's a paid for. And I like it because it brings up, I don't know, if you have a pretty well established, I just need something where it tells me who to talk to, where it like pops up and is like, follow up with these people. But the tracker system that I use on the weekly, like daily basis is honestly like, if I have a convo with somebody and it gets past the first, like they're wanting more info about the challenge, I flag the convo. Like that's my tracking system. Every single Friday, I go through every single person who's flagged, every single one who's flagged. And that's my follow-up Friday. I hit up every single person because it'll save anyone that you flagged within the most recent month. So within the last 30 days, if you flagged them, it'll still be there. So I go through and I'll like, as I'm doing my Friday follow-ups, I will go through, make sure I've talked to all those people, and then I add their name to my Teamsy. Or I have in my notebook, I have like like where it has the whole month on the side, I'll have people who say that they're ordering or want to order, like, yes, I'm in, sounds good. And I have just this like 20 in play, like ready to rock people. And then if those people end up coming back and telling me like, oh, I think, you know, follow up with me next month, I'll just draw an arrow over. So every Friday I check in with all of those people. And then I add the ones who are most serious or want me to check in with them down the road to my Teamsy.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps you at all, but. No,
it does. I'm just still trying to figure out like the system that works best for me. So right now it's like really a mixture of paper and pen and like a Google sheet and writing down things in my like planner. Like you said, I always have like a running list of people that are like, not this month or November. So I do have like systems. It's just, I'm looking to kind of aggregate it all. So I think it's just going to take time to figure out what works. And then my last question for you is, I'm so happy that we are in this group and like pushing. I think this is like really holding me accountable, and everybody else too. But I'm getting in this headspace where I'm like so obsessed on my next goal that I can't kind of like enjoy where I'm at and like not beat myself up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's just a matter of how do I move past that? Like, you know, you set a goal for yourself, and whether or not you accomplish it on that date or not, like you're still going to be the same person. You're still going to be great. But what are your tips for staying motivated and just like enjoying the journey and not being like diamond and once our diamond and like just wanting all those things for yourself, like all
Yeah. So that's a really good question, because we know mindset is key. Yeah. So when I start to get into that, like that headspace where I'm pushing for a goal. So first of all, let me say that like I've never reached any of my goals, like ever. Like I'm like still reaching for the same goals that I was when I started coaching. And as I pointed out at the table, I think I was talking to Susie or somebody, you may have been there, when we were in Florida, that like the fact that you have that ambition, that's your sexy, man. So like just recognize that there's always going to be a gap in between where you are and where you want to be, because you are an ambitious person. We want that gap. That gap is the sexy driving, like that is a character trait that we want to keep. So as soon as you start seeing that gap is as like a negative, you're wrong. Like you're just wrong. So like you gotta see that gap as like, I'm always going to keep pushing. Like I used the analogy before with touching your toes. Like I'm the worst pole dancer in the world. I've got like no flexibility, and I'm kind of Mulan-like, but I love it. But the only way that you get better at flexibility is failing to reach your goal of touching your toes or getting the splits over and over and over and over again. So like listening to personal development that is on those topics helps. But still, sometimes when I am losing my way because I have failed to hit a goal, two things. One thing that I thought was really, really brave and bold and awesome earlier this week, Lisbeth had reached out to our group and said, like, I'm feeling really low. I failed to hit this goal. Like, and she told people what she needed. Like, this is my visualization. This is what I'm doing to help myself get back into the right headspace. Will you guys help me? What do you visualize? And she basically gave us like, this is what I need to feel better right now. And we were able to go and support her in the way that she needed. So just remember that whether it's within this group or within Team Boom or your upline, that like when you start to feel like that, reach out and like lean into this community and allow us to support you and cheer you on and remind you why you're starting. So that's one. And the second one, and this works for not just rank related disappointment, but just when you get into that, like, I've sent 1 million invites and no one has said yes, and I just feel like crap. When I get into that headspace, the only thing that helps me is to start giving things away for free. Like you need to walk an old lady across the road. You need to go like save a dog. You need to go like get back to a point of like serving without wanting anything in return. Because really when it comes to rank and recognition, we don't mean to, like, it's a good thing to drive us, but it's so easy to get into that headspace of like, I want to be this, I want to get to this level. But in order to do that, other people have to be buying from you. Other people have to be signing up as a coach. And if you have that mindset about it, you start to put unnecessary pressure on yourself, which makes you invite differently. And it puts unnecessary pressure on those people as well. So as soon as I start to feel myself doing that, I reach out to somebody who I know is never going to order anything, and I offer them a free workout just because. Or I'll reach out to somebody who has totally rejected me, and I look on their page and I find something to compliment them on. Somebody who just wouldn't expect it at all. I send a voice note to somebody on the team that maybe doesn't even know that I'm following them, and encourage them on their journey, or put out a post that's like, I am going to give out some consultations for free. I have free workouts. I have a free Success Club group. What can I do to help you? And I just get back in that mindset of being a servant, and it really eliminates that negativity around the drive.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All righty. Anything else, Bo?
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I need my love nugget up here. Becca Ellis. Ready, girl?
Yes. So if I had to rank so it's from last Tuesday to now, pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say probably like a 7. Like, I've done pretty good. My workouts, I don't know why I haven't been super like motivated with my workouts recently. So like last night I actually went and did hot yoga or isometrics because I like needed a change. I was like just not having the online workouts. I don't know what it was. And I think part of it is because I'm not on a program right now. So I start my challenge group on Monday. So I'm waiting till Monday to start 21 Day Fix Extreme. So I think it's kind of like, I think it'll be better once I start the program because then I'll be like committed to that. Because now I'm like just throwing it on and like, oh, what do I want to do today? Like there's no purposeful planning to it at all.
Have you done all the 1 weekers?
1 weekers? No.
Have you done Sean
1 weekers?
Week of Hard Labor, all the 1 weekers? Have you done those?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is a thing, boo. What I would recommend doing, if you've got a week and you're feeling unmotivated, you gotta either pair up with somebody else in this group who also is feeling unmotivated and needs a week-long program, or go public on your story and say, hey, I'm doing this 1 week program because I need to get my butt ready. And maybe your challenge group, if other people are doing 21 Day Fix Extreme, you just gonna start that stuff like cold turkey. You gotta like ramp them up a little bit. So maybe do Sean week or something.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good to know. I didn't even know there was 1 week programs and everything.
If I don't have a structure to follow, I get really slackerific on my workouts.
Yeah, that's how I've been pretty much since I finished Look 4. So it's kind of been like just doing whatever. So I'm gotta commit to a program. But business has been good. It's been a little crazy for me because I got on board with Jumper Media, which was great. I'm a realtor full time. And so I had everything on one account pretty much. And he told me to create a new account. So my audience, he's like, it could be different people you're attracting for, if they go to your page for real estate Rebecca, and they see a bunch of workouts, they're like, wait, what is she doing?
Okay.
Kind of thing. So he was like, create a separate one, which I think is good. And I think it's good to like throw in a little bit here and there. I don't think it would hurt. But anyway, so I was struggling with that because I created a new fitness one, which is great. But then I'm like, well, all my followers are on the other page. So like, who am I going to invite if I'm not really posting as much fitness stuff on that page now? So it's just been a struggle, but I was like, I feel like I was using that as like a crutch not to invite. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go invite people that are looking on my story. Like they already know I've been working out. Like I'm just going to keep inviting them. So it's good. And like the thing is for me, I feel like I've been sending invites and like yesterday was like all real estate. So I feel like I was really slack yesterday. But then today I sent like 15 invites before we started. And I have like 9 messages in my Instagram right now about that. So that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, I feel like people aren't converting though. Like I have several people that like are asking me, and I've been sending out share carts thinking like, okay. And so like I followed up with some people today that had done the share cart. I had sent them. But they haven't signed up yet. I'm like, I sent it to like 7 people and none of them have actually ordered. So I don't know. I guess I just need to keep following up with them and like, you know, hey, we started Monday, like go ahead and get it. Like, you know, it's $20 off. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of all over the place. Like I'm really good at posting on my story, and I'm good about, I feel like at least posting on my making my posts are pretty good. And my invites when I actually do them are, I feel like, pretty good, but it's just like the follow-up and sitting there and like just, you know, I don't have all my scripts in one place, so it's like I'm having to go like kind of copy and paste from old messages. So I think for me, just like kind of getting organized, and I'm trying to now grow my new fitness account. So I don't know.
Media is helping you with that one, right?
Do what?
Jumper Media is helping you with that one?
Not yet. No, because they said, so one thing they said, which was kind of like a hang up for me, was that they won't start working on your account until you have 20 posts. So I'm at like 12 or 13 or something. So I'm trying to post like 2 or 3 a day to go ahead and get it up to 20.
Yeah, sure.
And then I can get them to help me grow that account too. But I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I feel like I've been doing okay. I just, you know, it's hard sometimes when you like, I feel like when I'm trying to run a real estate business and it's like, you're like, I'm never off. Like I don't leave work. Like my work comes home with me, you know, so that's one thing I struggle with a lot in general. So like trying to fit this in too is like sometimes a struggle, but it's one thing. Like the thing is, I know for me, and just like a little bit about like why I'm doing it, like I'm doing it for my own personal accountability, and I feel like I can help and impact other people in a positive way because I'm huge on like personal development and mindset. And so like I'm going to do it regardless. So I may as well be inviting people to it and be getting paid for it.
Totally.
You know, like I feel like it can help so many people. So like, why wouldn't you at least invite people to it? So,
sure. So what I hear you saying is you need to spend maybe an extra 30 minutes at some point this week getting organized so that you have your follow-ups in the same place, so that when you can increase your conversion rate.
Right.
Because the social media bit, it's all going to work itself out. Like you already have a plan for that. You're already rocking it. You're adding 2 posts a day. You're going to get to your 20 posts, and Jumper Media is going to take over. Then you're going to have people watching your story because you already have your posting down. That is a non-issue for you. You've already solved the problem. Okay, so the only thing that I've actually heard that you haven't solved is, 1, getting your follow-ups in order. That's 30 minutes, a 30-minute task that you need to do this week, and let us know in the leader group when you've done it.
Okay. When you say my follow-ups, are you talking about my scripts?
Yeah, I'm talking about whatever you need to feel more organized.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second thing is, it sounds like you need a little bit of to create a plan or have a little more discipline around your unplugging, around your self-care. Because if you are working on your real estate business all day, and then you're working on Beachbody all night, and there's never an off time, it comes from kind of being a people pleaser type of personality, and people pleaser personality results in burnout.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Okay? So we know.
And that's one thing too, is I'm working on hiring an assistant for real estate, which will be awesome because that's going to just help me buy back some of my time. But it's like, until I can get them on board and then trained, like it's a lot. And it's like, I'm blessed, I'm grateful because like I keep getting like more business in real estate, and that's awesome. But it is just so like, can be like overwhelming at times. So, but it's good. Like honestly, and that's like what I tell Pat is like, honestly, Beachbody is the only thing that kept me sane this summer, because like like at least it was like my way to like work out and like at least take some time away from real estate to do something for myself.
So continue allowing, remember that when you're doing the fitness and the personal development and the goal setting and those aspects, those are for you. That's not work. So those are for you, and as long as you have that mindset going into them, it's going to feel like that. But the other aspects, the convos, the invites, the follow-ups, that is business building activity. And so you need to be super disciplined with how much time you're spending and try to get that time reduced, which will come from being organized and practice, right, of course. But reducing that so that you are not, you're not getting burnout.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Good.
I feel like for me, like I know it's like a matter, like I just know it's going to happen. I'm not going to stop. So I'm just going to keep posting and keep inviting, and eventually people are going to come on board. Like it may take a while, but eventually it'll happen. So
girl, totally 100%. That's how it is for all of us. Honestly, I think that half of my success kind of came from my lack of even looking at the numbers. Like I didn't care about Success Club. I didn't care about how much money I was making, because that's not why I was doing it. And I was moving so quickly that I wasn't taking the time to look and see. So I felt like I was doing really good because Marie told me that I was doing a good job. So I was like, I'm doing a good job. Keep going. And like when you're doing it, without the concept of like, I need to make this my full-time thing or whatever, it definitely takes the pressure off. Like if I would have thought about that from the beginning, I would have stressed myself the F out. But because I had the mindset of I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this either way, might as well invite and, bring people along for the journey, make an impact, make some monies, like to pay for my own stuff. Like mindset is everything. It's the only thing that the top 10 coaches really all have in common. If you think about it, they're not similar. They're not really like all the same personality types. They're not all good at the same things. They have totally different skill sets and talents and strengths. They have totally different looks to them, but they're all obsessed with personal growth and mindset work.
Yeah. And that's one thing that was kind of awesome, because I was already doing that when I started real estate. I got really into personal development. So that's one thing, like I feel like my mindset is good. Like usually, I mean, not all the time, but like, I feel like just like, I know like there's just so many opportunities, and like, if you freaking go after what you want, like it's gonna happen. Like if you don't stop, like it's gonna break before you do,
Yeah. Yep.
You just keep on freaking going.
Is there anything else? Anything that
for me, I think because like I am kind of a newer coach, and like I don't have a ton of challengers, and I don't have a ton of people like that have bought from me that are in my group. Like, how do I invite to I haven't been inviting to the coaching opportunity as much because I just don't have as many people, if that makes sense.
Do you have a person who's done it for 3 weeks or more?
Yeah.
Invite them.
Yeah. And I have one girl, and she's going to be good if I can get her to do it. But she's already posting on her Instagram, and I feel like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We don't discriminate, because if you think about it, like I used to decide for people, oh, you're already stressed out with the fitness part, or you're already, you already have such an awesome job. You already have a fitness routine. You're already doing this or that. Like they wouldn't want to be a coach because of these reasons. But if we went through and wrote out all the reasons that people needed coaching or became coaches, the community, the workouts, accountability, the parties, right? Like working out with a super trainer, being a fangirl for Shaun T, like some people do it because they need mindset work. Some people think that it's cheaper than therapy, so they might as well. Like there's so many different things. If you can tell me every single aspect, like all of those things, if you can check them off for a person who has been in your challenge group for more than 3 weeks, then I give you permission not to invite them to coaching. But still, then you're just kind of a jerk, because then you're like inviting everyone but them, and that's mean.
Yeah.
Right? So we invite everybody, and we invite them in their first month because or we plant the seed in the first month because that's when there's the most excitement. We don't want to wait until they are already burnt out, or they have gotten to a lull in their weight loss, or they've plateaued to then bring up coaching, because then they feel like they suck. People feel like they super fly in week 2 and 3.
Sounds good. I'm going to invite all the people.
All right. I like to hear. Okay, guys, is there anybody who has not shared their 3?
Evie just came on.
I literally joined like 10 minutes ago because Elle sent me the link and my parents are here. And I'm just like, hey guys, I'm going to get on this call.
All right, awesome.
And just like kind of crashing the party. But
yeah, no, girl, it's good to see you. I'm going to go ahead and stop